So good evening again. The mission of the City School District of Albany is to educate and prepare all students for college and career, citizenship and life in partnership with our diverse community. Now to turn the floor over to Mrs. Kawita Adams, our superintendent.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. This week is American Education Week, and along with the National Education Association, I encourage you to take some time to reflect on how many benefits we share with public education and celebrate the positive things that we do each day to support our more than 9,600 students and their families. On Wednesday of this week, we celebrated and acknowledged Education Support Professionals Day, a day to appreciate the valuable work of our support professionals. Our educational support professionals often are the first point of contact for our families and students. Their positive customer service is essential to our success. Their work behind the scenes in a wide range of roles does not go unnoticed. Support staff make up nearly 1/3 of our workforce and help to keep all of our students safe, supported, and engaged and challenged so that they are ready to learn. I am grateful to each of them for all they do to ensure that all of our students are safe and able to succeed in an environment conducive for learning. To learn more about American Education Week and the recognition of our education support professionals, please visit NEA.org. And additionally, NYSET is launching a recognition day for our school-related professionals next Tuesday. We will take time to acknowledge the contributions of the many men and women who serve our students inside and beyond the classroom. We have scheduled 3 community workshops over the next couple of months in our continued efforts to share information with our local businesses and city residents about job opportunities in the construction trades. These MWBE Workforce Development Community Workshops will provide opportunities for minority and women-owned businesses as well as individual workers to learn how to make the most of the many projects that go on throughout our city and region. That includes the major Albany High School rebuilding project that will begin next spring. It also applies to all future facilities projects anywhere throughout our region and our state. Each of our workshops will highlight the same material. We're offering it in 3 separate times to be accessible to as many members of our community as possible. The dates are Thursday, November 30th at the Capitol South Campus Center, Wednesday, December 20th at Albany High School, Tuesday, January 23rd at Edmund J. O'Neill Middle School of Excellence. Please join us if you are able, and please help us spread the word as well. We have a flyer here tonight with more information. You can also visit the Rebuilding Albany High School section of our website. Our school district's journey regarding STEM education gained some altitude this last week. We had a 2-day visit from Captain Barrington Irving of the Flying Classroom last Wednesday and Thursday. Captain Irving left everyone feeling energized. He met with the students at 7 schools that are currently implementing STEM modules through the Flying Classroom. It was so powerful and moving to see that the way his story and his message about engaging students in critical thinking, analysis, and synthesis of learning concepts captivated our students. At O'Neill Middle School, one student approached Captain Irving after his presentation and stated very emphatically, "You are going to teach me how to fly." At Brooklyn, one of our auto tech students caught him after the presentation and asked for all of his contact information so that he could keep in touch regarding technology in the auto and aviation industries. I had a similar experience meeting with parents at Montessori Magnet School on Tuesday night as well. We had a great discussion about how the STEM modules are being implemented there, how it already is impacting their students' learning, and our vision for taking these opportunities to scale in the years to come. Our teachers who are implementing the STEM modules also took part in targeted professional development as part of our Superintendent's Conference Day last week. They were very energized and excited about the opportunity to bring this transformative way of teaching and thinking about to their students learning into their classrooms. I am very excited and looking forward to sharing more about the STEM integration at our December meeting, and especially for all of you to hear directly from our teachers and students and principals about their experiences this fall. We have a few important surveys going on at this time, and I would like to share some brief reminders. At Albany High School, the principal survey is open through next Tuesday. All responses will help inform our candidate interviews later this month. We welcome all staff, family, and community members to share their input. Another survey is our family engagement survey. That survey will be open through December 22nd. The feedback from this survey will help us in our school improvement work as part of our diagnostic tool for school district evaluation. And our school food survey is also open through November 30th. This survey by our food service partner, Whitson's, will use feedback to help improve the meals that our students eat at school. You can find the links and more information about all three of the surveys at albanyschools.org. I had the pleasure of taking part of a news conference at Albany High earlier this week to celebrate the college announcements of two of our exceptional student athletes. Haley Hart signed a national letter of intent to continue her education and basketball career at NCAA Division II Clarion University next year. And her teammate, Bridget Whalen, announced her plans to do the same at SUNY. They, of course, have the important business of their senior season in front of them, so we wish them continued success academically as well as on the basketball court this season. Students throughout the city of Albany are going to have a warmer winter once again this year, thanks to the leadership of our mayor and the generosity of our community. We had a news conference at North Albany Academy on Tuesday to announce the delivery of more than 740 winter coats and nearly 3,000 hats, gloves, scarves, and mittens. This winter clothing was distributed to our students to help make sure that they are safe and warm as the temperatures continue to drop. I would like to publicly thank Mayor Sheehan once again, as well as Jack and Mark Yonley from Lodge's Department Store and Tom Burke from the Burke Companies. They have been strong supporters of the Cash for Coats campaign since it began 10 years ago, and they were there with us again Tuesday to help our students try on their new winter gear. The Palace Theater was also a partner this year in the Cash for Coats effort, and we are grateful for their efforts as well. A reminder that our students will have 3 days off next week for parent-teacher conferences and the Thanksgiving recess. Parent-teacher conferences are next Wednesday. Parents and guardians, please connect with your teachers for this important opportunity to find out how things are going for your children so far this school year. Parent-teacher conferences are an important way to engage with and be a partner with your child's education. We welcome these opportunities to work together with you so that every child can have an excellent school experience. All of our schools and offices will be closed next Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving break. I would like to wish all of you a safe and happy holiday with your family and friends. I'd now like to invite Principal Kendra Chairs Francis to step forward for a brief presentation about the great things happening here at Philip Schuyler Achievement Academy. And tonight, she has two special assistants with her, Jalen and Janae Skirvin. Please welcome Jalen and Janae, as well as our principal. Thank you.
Ms. Chairs Francis, because of the height of the lectern, not of your students.
I'm actually going to pass it to them.
I was going to say, they can come sit here at the table if you would like, so that we could see them. It's up to you if you all want to come sit there. We can grab another chair.
They can sit down.
Thanks, Andre.
That's true. Okay. Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Adams, and the cabinet. On behalf of Philip Schuyler Achievement Academy, I would like to say welcome and thank you for allowing us to speak today. I do have 2 students here to share a little bit about our special building and what it means to them. Can you read it?
My name is Janae Scoven, and I like gym because I like playing with my friends.
Janae's a kindergartner here at Philip Schuyler.
My name is Jayla Skirvin, and I'm in 3rd grade, and I like being on the computers because we get to learn math and reading.
All right, thank you. If you guys want to go sit with your parents, you can. All right. Okay, I guess I'll stay seated, it's easier. All right, so today I'm very new to Philip Schuyler, but I'm going to take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about some things that are happening here at Schuyler. Oh, perfect. Oh, and this is my assistant principal, Mrs. Steckman, so she's going to be my wing person today. If you wouldn't mind, click down. Down, yep. So our vision here at Philip Schuyler Achievement Academy is to create character, to invoke independence, and to empower our learners to succeed. Our mission is to create a positive, child-centered learning environment that sets high standards for achievement and success. All staff, families, and communities will work together to foster a nurturing and enriching atmosphere that will produce lifelong and involved, respectful, and responsible citizens. And as I mentioned, I'm very new to Schuyler, and we are actually in the process, Ms. Steckman and I, as well as our building leadership team, as restructuring our vision and mission so that's reflective of where we're trying to go currently as a building. So more to come. Stay tuned. In terms of demographics, we have currently 315 students enrolled at Philip Schuyler in grades pre-kindergarten through grade 5. Our subgroup percentages are as follows. We have 55% of our students are males, 45% are females. We have about 18% that are students with disabilities, and 15% are ENL learners. Our top 2 languages here at Philip Schuyler are Arabic and Spanish, in that order. We have 6% Asian, 65% African American, 18% Hispanic, and 9% white of our students enrolled. In terms of staff, we actually have a lot of people who work here at Philip Schuyler, some of which are district staff, some are actually community partners. We have 1 building principal, myself, and assistant principal, Ms. Steckman. We have a homeschool coordinator, and starting on Monday will be our community school site coordinator. We have about a little over 30 full-time and part-time faculty members, classroom teachers, we have reading teachers, speech and language pathologists, ENL teachers, social workers, psychologists, and we have a behavioral specialist who will be starting hopefully following our Christmas break. In addition to Schuyler staff, we have community partners. We're considered a full service, actually we're considered a community school now, and some of our partners that we have with us on a regular basis are through Whitney Young. We have a nurse practitioner and a medical assistant. We have Parsons, we have 1 behavioral specialist through Parsons and a social worker and a part-time family coordinator that we share with Sheridan Preparatory Academy. In addition, Boys and Girls Club offers our pre-kindergarten programming, so we have staffing for our pre-K programs as well as our after-school programs. I'm sure some of you saw the children here today, as well as we offer after-school programming through the YMCA. So as you know, Philip Schuyler is a school in receivership, and so because we're a school in receivership, we actually did not write a SEP, but we wrote a continuation plan. The continuation plan consists of level 1 and level 2 indicators that were, level 1 indicators were selected by New York State. Level 2, we had the opportunity to weigh in. When you look at the indicators, we're really looking to make gains in our New York State assessment performance, as well as our NWEA assessment, and of course, making AYP, which is an expectation. In terms of our level 2 demonstrable indicators, those are indicators that we were able to select on our own, and the building actually selected Tenet 2 as a way to measure school improvement, and tenet 2 focuses on our instructional practices, so what our teachers are doing in the classroom every day with our students. We also looked at subgroups, one being African American students, as well as our economically disadvantaged students. We paid attention to teacher attendance as well as chronic absenteeism. So that's basically the things the indicators that the state looks at to determine whether or not we've made the progress that we needed to make. However, as I mentioned, I'm from another building, and we didn't have a continuation plan. So one of the things that we tried to do is to try to organize our continuation plan into goals that we could follow throughout the course of the year. And so this is our version of that. So goal number 1 is, we needed to find a system to monitor our progress with those 12 indicators. As you can imagine, that can be challenging. The other thing that we wanted to focus on, based on all of the action steps that you see in the continuation plan, are building the capacity of our instructional staff. So we did partner with the Center of Educational Leadership to offer a studio classroom in mathematics and ELA. Our focus in ELA is writing. Mathematics, we're focusing on problem solving, as well as ways that we can integrate what the school had previously done with their state modules into our new curriculum resource, which is Envisions. We're focusing on higher order thinking questions, as well as accountable talk, which has been a common thread for several years at Schuyler. One of the things we're trying to do is seeing how we can incorporate that in writing. And we just recently participated in a studio classroom session where we focused on how to teach our students to be able to talk to other students about their writing to support growth. In addition to that, we need to enlist the support of our parents, our community, and our caregivers. Our community, and our community partners, I'm sorry. So one of the things that I have found at Schuyler in our short time here is that we have a tremendous amount of community partners and resources and people who want to come in and help us. And we have to make sure that we use those resources in a way that are going to help to drive our agenda as a building. And as I mentioned earlier, we're working to figure out what direction we'd like to go in as a building. And so it'll be very important that we make sure that we're very cohesive and consistent in our approach. And the other piece that I've noticed here at Schuyler is that we really need to get better at how we engage our parents. And so that's a huge focus for us this year. And lastly, we just want to see at least a 10% growth in our students' academic performance. When we talk about ELA, they give us a report where we can where we are able to find out what our projection is for students in terms of our 2s, 3s, and 4s, and we'd obviously like to see an improvement by 10% in that. So, in terms of celebrations, yay. So one of the things I'd like to say, and I'm very excited about, is that we did make priority status, make our AYP 2 years in a row. Hold on, that's not the big one. There was a reduction in our chronic absenteeism, so the state baseline was 30%. At last count, we were at 13.2, which is huge, all right? Getting bigger, all right? So grade 3, we went from 19% proficient to 30% in math, which was a huge gain. We adopted our community schools model, and we currently have a person who will be starting on Monday, yay, all right? And now for the big one, which I'm so excited about, is that because we were able to make the gains that the state required that we make, we, based on the current regulations, will no longer be a school in receivership. So even though I haven't been here for the bulk of the work, I am super excited that we can begin this journey without that hanging over our head. So that concludes our presentation on Philip J. Schuyler. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're happy with the progress that we made, and I'm very excited for the progress that we have in the future. So that's it.
Ms. Chairs Francis, Ms. Steckman, please let your whole staff know how absolutely ecstatic this board is at everything you mentioned to celebrate, but the conclusion of it all. And while we know there's a lot of work to be done, and that doesn't end the work because you're beginning it, just tell them that we appreciate the slogging, the going through it, all that they've done to get to that point on behalf of the kids. And so thank you so very, very much.
We will definitely share that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chairs Francis. That concludes my report.
I hope every one of your report ends on such a great note. Every board meeting, Mrs. Adams. We have, must be the holidays. There's not any public comment that's on there. And I'm going to move right into routine consent. And may I get a motion, please, for routine consent this evening? Ms. Roach, seconded by Ms. Smith. Any set-asides? Seeing none, all those in favor of routine consent? And that is unanimous. Mrs. Adams, I turn the floor over to you for our new vision, mission rollout.
Madam President, members of the board, at our last board meeting, I did present the vision and mission for 2017-2018. So we are asking for approval and adoption of that vision and mission.
So I know Andrea is pulling that up, and it was, again, it was attached to our agenda. Thank you very much, Ms. Tibbetts. And are there any questions? I'll open it up to the floor. Are there any questions or any comments that anybody would like to make with regard to that, in addition to those that were ably shared at the last board meeting? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the vision and mission that has been provided to, what? Motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion to approve the vision? It feels like there's one thing missing. Vision, mission, there's not, and goals, right? Isn't there?
Yes.
I keep thinking there's a third. Thank you. So anyway, can I get a motion, please, to approve the vision, mission, and goals? Ms. Wilson, seconded by Ms. Lang. All those in favor? And that, again, is unanimous. Thank you so much. And Mr. Hogan, we're up to your budget calendar, which I know is, again, the second time we're seeing it. Again, it's an action. Is there anything you want to share with us, or?
Madam President, if I may.
Oh, please. Yes, Mrs. Adams.
We
Sorry.
had an appointment tonight for our assistant house principal at Albany High, Suzanne Paulson. Is she here? Come on, stand up. So congratulations. And we are so excited to have you. Thank you so very much.
Mrs. Adams, could you just let us know, and I apologize, I'm sure it was listed, but which house is Ms. Paulson going to be at?
That has not been determined yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Then I didn't miss it. Thanks. Mr. Hogan.
Okay, yes, you have in your packet the budget calendar. We discussed it at the last board meeting. It's ready for the board to adopt it. And of course, if we need to make modifications later in the season, we will do so.
Ms. Roach, anything? Ms. Lang? Ms. Wilson? Ms. Smith? Ms. Savage? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the budget calendar for this year? Ms. Smith, seconded by Ms. Roach. All those in favor? And that is unanimous. It looks like it's you, Ms. Bechtel, correct?
Good evening. I'm here tonight to talk about the RTI AIS plan, and want to start, for those that are not familiar with those terms, some definitions around RTI, which is response to intervention. I've included a definition on the slide, which I do believe I'd like to read out loud because I believe people should know what it is we're speaking about tonight. Response to intervention, a decision-making process by which teachers can provide high-quality instruction, early systematic intervention, and monitoring to all students, including students at risk, students with disabilities, and English as a new language students. RTI is mandated by the state for K-4 students. Several years ago, when RTI first came out, and we created the original plan probably about 5 or 6 years ago, we decided to mandate that for all elementary buildings for consistency's sake. So that took the place of academic intervention services, which I will go to next. Academic intervention services is also mandated by the state for students at risk at not achieving the standards or at risk for not passing either the 3 through 8 tests or high school Regents exams. I'm going to read this definition as well. It says, AIS is a student support services that supplement core or tier 1 instruction provided in the general curriculum and are designed to assist students in meeting proficiency with the learning standards. AIS are intended to assist students who have not met who are at risk of not meeting the designated performance levels on state assessments. We, as we adopted RTI at the elementary building, what we ended up doing is we moved into sort of a philosophical approach for secondary AIS, so that we moved into a fluid-like tiered system at the secondary level over time. There's a little bit of a difference, because at the elementary what we have is sort of a mandated system, or a mandated system that is employed in every school. At the secondary level, we've taken a philosophical approach to a tiered level of AIS. It's a little bit of a nuance between why one is one and one is the other. So tonight I'm here really to talk about the plan. And I wanted to give you a little bit of background over what has occurred over the past 18 months or so. In the spring of 2015-16 school year, we were looking at, of course, our data and looking at our RTI processes and protocols at the elementary level particularly. And we said, we know we have a good plan, but we're not getting the results that we continue to look for. Why is this happening? Why do we have uneven results? So Cecily Wilson-Turner, myself, Tanya Pennick, who is our RTI coordinator, and we said, you know what, we need an outside evaluator. We need an outside review of this plan to make sure that we're doing that the plan is the way that it should be and that we're implementing as we should be. So what we did is we put it in the DSIP under Tenant 4 and under instruction. And we contracted with Dr. Lori Strong to come in and review our plan and review and actually review implementation of the plan. And I'm going to talk about the results of that in a minute, or actually I'll talk about them now. So what Dr. Strong found is that we have a stellar plan. She has been very public about the quality of the plan that we have, and this is for elementary initially. And says that she thinks that we should be able to sell that plan to other school districts. I mean, she really has been very complimentary about the written plan. Where we are not having the same kinds of results is in the implementation. You can have the best written plan in the world, but if you're not implementing, that's a problem. So I'm going to talk about what we've done as a result of that. So we reviewed the elementary plan. We had that we wanted to do the secondary plan as well last year, but what came up was this pilot possibility, and this was for the RTI TAC middle school demonstration project. And this was going to be a great opportunity for us because it was a task force that would be reviewing throughout the state middle school and secondary RTI AIS plans. We applied for that pilot. We did all the work for it. We put in our application and it was not approved. We didn't get in. I'm happy to report that Dr. Lori Strong is actually on that RTI task force or that middle school demonstration project, which is an advantage to her because what we did is we put in the 17-18 DSIP that we needed to have an outside evaluator of the secondary plan and contracted with Dr. Strong again. And as I said, we're getting a little bit of a twofer here because she is doing the work throughout the state and is also providing that expertise to our district. So we have an outcome of the elementary review. That a couple of different things. We are having intensive professional development with our specialists at the elementary level, the coaches, the reading teachers, the SPED teachers. We actually